You're listening to the Slow Ride Podcast. Bikes, advice, and rumors straight from the source. TheSlowRidePodcast.com and on Twitter at TheSlowRidePod. Enjoy the ride.
I'll start. If you're ready, I'll just start.
Yeah. Just go. See what happens.
Hello and welcome to the 70th episode of the Slow Ride Podcast. I am the little guy in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And I am Spencer Howe in Boston, Massachusetts. Thanks for joining us again for our second Tim-free, 100% Tim-free episode. As many of you heard last week, we did fire him. He is gone. So this will be our second attempt. Last week we had a strange, we tried to take some calls and we got some tweets. It seemed like maybe our caller was not who he said he was. So we're trying to avoid that this week. Hopefully we won't run into the same pitfall.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little more variety. Last night we had a little trouble with the phones. It seemed to kind of only be one guy. I don't know how he got it.
Yeah, maybe our number didn't get out to enough people. We'll tweet it out again here.
Okay, it's 555 5555.
Okay. That's 1-800 Slow Ride.
Slow Ride 555. It's 555 because that's always the fake number in the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we just go? Should we just do it? Should we just roll to the phone?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those weeks where there's just, the Vuelta hasn't started. Everybody's burned out from the tour. Tour of Norway is happening, I guess, but nobody really cares about that. And, let's just, I want to remind our listeners to come check us out if they're in Richmond for the Worlds. We're going to do a live show at the Coalition Theater. Tickets are going to be first come, first serve. They're going to be $5. So, we're making you shell out for that, but it should be a good time. We'll have some stuff for you. Hopefully some material and maybe some pro appearance, maybe not. Anyway, yeah. Why don't you open up the phone lines here and see what's going on? Now that that tweet's been out there for a few minutes, we've probably got some callers. What do we got?
All right, caller one. Go ahead.
Hey guys.
Oh no.
One-time listener, multi-time caller. Just calling about track racing.
Track racing?
Track racing. Lots of big news about Velodrome. And big return to the track was all oversiding news. And I was wondering your guys' thoughts on the missing out elimination race at the Madison.
Well, I didn't do a missing out. I think maybe you got a little confused. I did do a Madison, and I think I did pretty well in the Madison, but I did a Kieran, and I screwed that up. But I didn't do a missing out. I think so. You might have got confused, but I had a good time at the track. Thanks for asking.
Little guy, you went to the track?
I went to the track.
When's the last time you raced the track?
I think it was like almost exactly 2 years ago because it was August, I think, 2 years ago.
Okay, I'm going to get into your racing here, but I have one question. Have you re-glued your tires since that last time that you raced the track?
I re-glued. The front tire is freshly glued. It's one of those tires you were throwing away when you moved out of your house into your apartment like 4 years ago.
Nice.
So it's a used like pan eraser or something. No, I didn't re-glue the rear tire, and it's still glued well. It's not coming off because, knock on wood, because I used Tubasti and not that mastic crap that all you other weirdos use.
Everyone else in the world seems to think
uses
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody else rolls tires, and I don't.
So wait. You went to the track? I was talking about Mark Cavendish and Bradley Wiggins teaming up.
That's like boring, man. That's the exciting stuff. Yeah, I saw that. Did they held hands in the Madison? What's the missing out thing?
They did the missing out. Well, so Cavendish was looking at about possibly going to the Olympics for the Omnium because it will allow him to do the the 5 events.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. And one of those events is the elimination race, and he said it is stupid and by far the most dangerous event in the Olympics.
Now, little guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the elimination race, the missing out, is your favorite event, right?
It's totally my favorite event on the track, for sure. But anyway, it's awesome.
Just
it's
checking.
fun.
Well, the elimination race, the little guy, you were always good at it because you were always the devil takes the hindmost. You'd always sit at the back and just pit people at the line.
It's fun. If nothing else, you do like 10 sprints, then maybe you get fourth or something. And it's a whole lot of work, and it's kind of dumb, but it's fun. It's like it's a whole bunch of sprints, and you get to like shoot through the little gaps, and you get to piss people off, which is always fun.
So the elimination race, he was complaining about that, to which I responded, has he not seen fencing or the entire shooting sports? I mean, I'm pretty sure biathlon is the most dangerous event ever created. You're skiing with a rifle.
They have a safety on there. You know.
I've seen Spencer ski. I would want a gun to be nowhere close to him when he's skiing.
I agree. I agree with that statement.
I think we all agree with that statement. I mean, I don't know if I want to see a gun near Spencer in general, though. So
that's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I gotta think that's not a good idea.
That obviously is pretty lame cycling news, track racing. But little guy, we're happy that you're back. But we had a lot of people chiming in about Cyclepalooza. And again, Cyclepalooza is happening the Friday before the Richmond Road Cycling World Championships in September.
Oh, yeah.
And all types of bands are going to be there. We have Lance and the Armstrongs.
Yep.
We have Ulrich.
We
have Tainted Supplement.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
and
going to rock.
On the 80s cover stage, we have Cheapo Trick.
Yep.
Lots of good things going on. Probably one of my favorite bands of all time, even though it's a Christian rock band, is called Sorry You Don't Believe in Miracles. Another fantastic recommendation that came at us. We had Stephen Gibertoni told us that the Asthmatics were going to be there as well.
Oh, good. They're awesome.
And their song Just One Puff is going to be fantastic. And now they may have a
I hope they do.
Guest. They might have special guest Alessandro Pataki showing up. So guys, again, hashtag Cyclepalooza. Lots of
he's not as fast. He can't shred as fast as he used to. You know. I don't know. You know, he could just shred way faster. He still can play, but it's just not. It's not the same. But you know, it's still good.
A lot of people were asking. Unfortunately, the recumbents are going to be unavailable to play because they're going to be at the Dubuque County Fair.
I heard their singer had like back issues or something, so he had to cancel part of the tour.
You know, they had to cancel the tour. You know, the sales of their new EP Quill Stem were definitely a little bit low. But
because it didn't make any sense on a recumbent.
That was the Christian rock band recommendation. Sorry You Don't Believe in Miracles came from Henrik Enberg. We'd like to thank him for that.
Yep.
They were really
nice.
They were really important to come in. Oh, of course, Frank Cundiff, who we're going to be staying with, also told us that booked their opening for us, not even on the bill, just their own night, is going to be the 90s boy band 7-Eleven.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that one.
So again,
They
hashtag
were like a really early 90s boy band, though. Maybe even late 80s.
Really? Yeah, maybe late 80s. Oh, man. Can you imagine 7 11-year-olds in one place trying to dance together? That's a big boy band.
So I don't know about you guys, but Henrik Enberg really nailed it out of the park for hashtag Cyclepalooza with the Sorry You Don't Believe in Miracles.
God, I had forgotten that he had said that Lance had said that. That is just... God, he's a dickhead. You can kind of forget how big a dickhead he is, and then you just have to have one quote from him.
Yeah.
Out of context, years later. Oh, what a dickhead.
Hey guys, we got a Twitter question from Jazzy B from Diamond Geezer. Which American pro do you wish you were?
I don't think I wish I were any of the American pros. Which one makes the most money?
I don't think that's the gist of his question.
Oh, I thought it was just about material objects.
I think it's about who are you most inspired by, or maybe who Who do you
I've got an
wish
answer.
when you're out on that training ride by yourself and you're giving it up the climb or to the town line sprint or whatever? Like, who do you want to embody? Who do you fancy that you embody?
Well,
See, I'm always like I'm Jean Gageret or something in my mind. I like, especially like if I'm with Tim, I look at Tim and I pretend he's Nicholas Roach, and then I just ride away from him. I'm not giving you my wheel,
Wait.
and I sprint away.
So
But
you
think
guys
of
know
that
me.
in the
I
terms
always-
of American
okay.
pros.
So
Okay.
I always wished
What do you
that
guys
I was. Well, I always wished that I was obviously Tyler Hamilton. You guys remember how I had?
Yeah.
I even dropped the shoulder.
You have a terrible climbing form. Yeah.
I was. I
And
was
it
always.
got worse.
I was just
to mimic
always.
Tyler.
I was always screaming out random dog names. I was blaming it on a
Just
twin.
like Tyler, like when
And-
he'd attack, he would just yell out "Sport!" and like
So
"Dog boat!"
I've kind of moved on. So now, to answer this question, it's really who do I wish I wasn't, and we all know who we wish I wasn't. So therefore, I go, who has the opportunity to beat wasn't Tim more often? And after today, it really comes clear, guys. Taylor Phinney. I'm all about Taylor Phinney because
Okay.
he can beat up on
Yeah.
TJ Van Gardner whenever he wants,
Hmm.
and it's Taylor Phinney, like hero.
Yeah.
Dude came back from like that crash and now
Yeah.
is like
So-
winning races, guys. That's
So
what
Tim,
I wish I was.
how's your TT form?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. You've seen it. I have some awesome aero bars.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Hey, should I call Taylor Phinney and see if he'll give me my aero bars back?
Yes. Who do you wish you were, little guy?
God, I have no idea. I truthfully, and I'm not just being asked. Like, there's not a lot of American pros that I'm like they all kind of just race conservatively. Taylor's is like as good as any. Like, he attacks and like is a fairly exciting rider. But a lot of
I think I like
What
him
about
because
like a Kale Reinen or somebody.
yeah, you could be a cyclocross
yeah,
guy. You could be J Pal.
that's true.
Yeah, you could be
That's
J-Pal.
true. Oh man, we got to talk about that. All right, first let's talk about.
Okay.
We'll stay on topic. and
Okay,
then
so
we'll talk-
spend-
So mine
Video
is
games.
obvious. I've always kind of fancied myself like a one day race kind of guy, even though we don't have a ton of stage races. So everybody in America is a one day race kind of guy. And I'm like, I used to be like as a Cat 4, I was a pretty good climber. I've been an okay climber. Like I was definitely an okay climber when I was a Cat 4, and as I started moving up through the ranks, that glory diminished significantly as I realized maybe I'm not a good climber. Maybe I was just, good for a Cat 4. And then, I thought I was a good sprinter because I raced the track a lot and, had a good success there. And again, as I moved up through the categories, that definitely diminished as well. So I got an okay, sprint, an okay climb, and but I'm not really that great at anything, and I'm bound to come up second quite a bit. So my choice would be clearly Dan Martin, the number one American.
God. I should have seen that coming. That whole
Yeah, yeah.
setup.
Yeah,
I
that-
should have seen that coming, and you got me. You got me on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Damn Dan Martin.
Yeah, he can go for it. I like his style. He attacks a lot. He crashes ridiculously sometimes.
Yeah.
He doesn't win all that much, and people talk about him a lot for no real reason. So I think he really
Hey,
embodies what I bring to the table.
And you're both leaving Cannondale this year.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Dan Martin for a second. Where do you guys think Dan Martin's going to go?
well,
in the transfer news? Because
Isn't he
he's
going
not.
to Quick Step?
I don't know. Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't heard any confirmed. Have you heard?
That's not
confirmation?
confirmed, but it's a pretty serious
seems-
rumor. Yeah, is that he's going
What?
to Quick Step, which doesn't make
'Cause
a lot of
so-
sense.
Well, it makes a little sense because they're losing Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski's going to Sky.
Yeah, but Dan Martin's like a subpar D-bar, I think.
No, but he's a Kwiatkowski. I mean, he
Yeah,
goes
that's
for the
true.
Ardennes Classics and stuff. I guess the thing that I don't get is the French like second year pro man of the year, a whatever
Alaphilippe.
Poliano or whatever his name was on Quick Step. Like he seems so perfect for those races. I mean, he was second at in two of the
Yeah.
Ardennes Classics. Like, why bring in a guy like Martin when you've got this guy and he's like 23 and you could lock him down and obviously he can get better,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I guess when you got all the money that Quick Step has, I mean, they just always bring a full deck of fucking cards.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that he would go there. I mean, the other option really for the budget he's got to be asking for is like a BMC.
And you don't want to go there.
So we'll get into transfer news here in a second. But little guy, what American pro do you wish you were?
Oh,
you haven't answered yet.
It's long and hard. I think I got to be George Hincapie because just like George, I'm the most likely to have a carbon fork with an aluminum steer tube. And so I feel his pain. Like, why did I bring this subpar equipment to this race?
Hey, this is Mo Bruno Roy, and you're listening to the Slow Ride Podcast.
We were talking a little bit earlier, but did you guys hear this news? TJ Van Garderen may be going to Trek Factory Racing.
I've heard that rumor. That would make a lot of sense. I mean,
it would. How do you feel about that? He is following in the footsteps, maybe of kind of a Lance to be the anchor of an American team. And they kind of need that. Like, it makes sense for the best American stage racer to go race for Trek.
But don't you feel? Well, I mean, I know BMC's a Swiss team, but BMC feels like also. I mean, they're obviously a very like American market oriented.
Don't forget, the best American stage racer is Chris Horner.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure Trek is probably going to blow their whole budget on re-signing Horner.
Re-signing him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You guys, they're going to spend so much money to get TJ over to them. I guarantee if they would have re-signed Horner, they would have got a better result than they'll get from signing TJ. And you know it. I mean, you know that Horner, like, if he actually, like, been on the Super Good program and been in the World Tour, he could be, like, top 5 or more at one of these, like Grand Tours. TJ's always going to falter. He's not going to do anything exciting. Horner's going to bring the magic. He brings the old man magic.
There's no way he would even be top 5 at this year's Vuelta. This year's Vuelta is absolutely stacked. But
it is really stacked, but he beat Nibbles.
I don't even know why the Vuelta is calling itself the Vuelta right now. They may as well rebrand as Tour de France 2. Because it's going to be amazing. We're going to get all the excitement that we wish the Tour had in the Vuelta, like all the crazy attacks, because nobody has anything to lose now, like.
It's insane. The lineups are, other than Contador not being there, which might almost be better because Micah's like off the leash for Tinkoff, and he can go crazy now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be, guys, and then that Astana team, that's like top 5 guys right there.
Blow up. They're going to kill each other or really destroy everybody else.
So of course, in that mindset, we've set up our Velo Games Vuelta League for all our fans to join. So that'll be exciting. Le Vuelta a la Slow Ride is on Velo Games. Code 180-21952. We'll post that on Twitter as well at the Slow Ride Pod. So go get your team stacked, do your research, or you can basically just copy and paste your tour team in there. It should be fine.
Hey, so guys, since we're talking about the Vuelta, off the top of your head, who's going to be the winner and who is going to be the follow them on the podium?
That's tough. I don't know. I don't want to go first. Spencer, you go first.
I think we're going to. So this is not something I've put much thought into.
No, this is like I don't even know who's starting. I'm just going to go off like what I'm feeling. You guys can
every good stage racer other than Contador is starting.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Aru can pull this out. 1 or 2 guys
are hurt.
I think Aru can pull it out.
Oh no, you.
That's bold. All
yeah,
right.
That's risky.
I mean, I had Contador picked for the tour double. I really thought he could do it. And I want to see somebody do the double, but I don't want to see Chris Froome do the double. So,
really,
yeah, I'm kind of screwed.
Do you want to
I'm going to pick Aru.
Do you want to see Aru do the double?
No.
Because he could get second, and he could do a double-double.
Yeah. I think.
Thanks for explaining that one, little guy. So,
Well, I mean, neither of you said anything like you didn't know what the hell I was talking.
I mean, I'd like to see.
Maybe you just didn't
I'd like to see Nibali win, just so he can have something for his season. But I don't think he'll be able to.
it's not like his season's been that bad, though.
No,
Like,
I
it's just-
know, but he needs a Grand Tour. I'd like to see him get it. So I'm going to put him third on the podium, and I'll throw. I guess I'll throw Froome in on second on the podium there. So he'll be
He's
in the
gonna
middle
win?
of an Astana sandwich.
Okay, so my prediction for the 2015 Vuelta is we're going to see Alejandro Valverde take the win for Movistar.
What?
We are going to see Chris Froome in second, and then we are going to see Nairo Quintana in third for a Movistar sandwich. And
Interesting.
the reason
We've got
why is
two different
that
Froome sandwiches so far.
the reason why is I think that Quintana is going to be working all out for Valverde. I think Valverde has been tapering all season for this.
to pay back all the work Valverde does for Quintana.
Tapering all season. Valverde's been racing. He's done like every other race that's happened the entire
Was I
year.
the only one that was like, oh, God, MTM Quebec? Like, I'm so excited for so much of this race. Rory Sutherland is racing. Like, that's pretty cool. He had a big crash earlier this year, so it's cool to see him back. You got Froome. Oh, guys, it's just going to be some amazing stuff. And let's not forget, we haven't even seen what team AG2R is bringing to the Vuelta.
Yeah, you know what they're not bringing?
The gummy bear.
They're probably not bringing the gummy
The
bear.
Betancourt.
Fat.
Yeah, he's back to Ulrich size.
I'm so bummed about that. I really wanted to. I just wanted it.
Is Betancourt the new Ulrich? Is he the guy we're going to look at his weight every year and decide if he's going to have
He
a good
is.
tour?
So,
Oh, he is.
do you think
We're just decide if he's actually going to be allowed to race. I mean, that's he's not Ulrich, because like Ulrich was a big enough deal that he showed up a little heavy pre-tour. They had to put him in the team. You know, like he was the number one attraction for them.
Yeah.
They had to throw him in. They knew that even overweight, a little bit off form, he could get second, third, maybe fourth. Right? He got fourth once.
So,
You know, like out of form Ulrich, but Carlos, it's not that magical. You know, the cocktails aren't as good as they used to.
He just has to
So,
wait
guys-
it out, you know, like JCP is going to be retiring. You know, it's got a few more guys to get out of his way, and he'll be back as the only man there on AG2R.
But the problem, and this is a weird problem that
He's
a
just
French
retiring.
team has now,
He's just
is
retiring.
AG2R keeps having like good young riders, like left and right.
Is JCP only retiring from Grand Tours, though?
No, he's gonna. I heard he said the quote I heard was that he was gonna ride the Giro next year.
So,
Have a go at the Giro, and then he might retire.
so guys, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm gonna make a prediction.
Okay.
I'm going to predict that TJ Van Garderen is not the highest placed American in this race.
Who will be the highest placed American?
The highest placed American is going to be Lawson Craddock of Giant Alpecin. He had that horrible crash at Tour Down Under, so he's been kind of out and just kind of training for the last since February. Basically, he's been out. I think he's the one that had all that future hype and hope. I mean, it's not like he's doesn't have a good pedigree of racing. So that's my prediction. You guys think I'm totally wrong here?
I don't know anything about him as a rider,
I think-
but I bet you're
I Googled him last week, and that's where I was like, huh.
Yeah.
And do you want to know why I even looked him up?
why.
That's something we haven't talked about on here. Highly recommend it. This is on the Slow Ride podcast. Must do. You have to go to Netflix and you have to watch the Clean Spirit documentary that follows the Team Argos Shimano at the tour with Kittle and Degenkolb. Hands down, the second best cycling documentary of all time.
And what's the best? Overcoming?
That is actually what I was going to say. Well, Pro is pretty good too, but Overcoming is pretty awesome. And the reason I like Overcoming a little bit more is that that was being filmed when I was learning to become a cycling fan. So that was the tour that really was really getting me going, or one of the tours. And it's the T-Mobile team. The Argos Shimano though, I gained a lot of respect for Kittle, but also just the way it's. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Oh, guys,
I gotta
please.
correct you just briefly. Overcoming's the CSC movie.
CSC.
Hell on Wheels is the
Hell
T-Mobile
on Wheels
movie.
is the
Yeah.
T-Mobile.
I'm thinking of Hell on Wheels. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. They're both great movies.
No, I would think the CSC would be your favorite. I know Tyler wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, that's the one where there's a bottle handoff and Keanu Reeves runs over Bobby Schulich with the team car. Like Bobby crashes under the car and like breaks his wrist. It's there's some good stuff in that. I think I sent you guys both copies of that for free when I worked at World Cycling Productions.
I'll have to go rummage through my pile when we're done with this.
I sure hope you guys watch that, and everybody should listen. Everyone that's listening should also watch it. Lots of great stuff on there, and one of my favorite. Hey guys, big news though. Kevin Reza is doing a Grand Tour.
Can I give my prediction, Tim?
Yeah, can I get mine?
Sorry. What's your go out on the limb prediction, little guy?
I actually kind of have no idea. I just want to cut you off. I don't want to put Froome in the middle. Froome's gonna win.
What?
You're both wrong. He's gonna win. He's gonna do the double. It's gonna be cool.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid now, man.
Do you think there's a way? Do you think there's a way that? Do you think there's a way that Froome will now like sue Oleg Tinkoff and be like, "You said if someone won the double, like I got the double."
He said the triple. You had to do the triple.
Yeah,
no, I think, and you just had to do them.
Oh, okay.
We talked about this on the Slow Ride podcast.
That's why. Contador might show up at the very last minute because he hasn't totally ruined it out.
That's true. That I love that rumor, but you know the list comes out like at the end of the week, and he has to be on that list as a reserve.
Yeah.
For them to, so the surprise goes away a couple days before.
That's all right. I'll still be surprised.
Do you think he can just like he takes off like a mask and he's like, "It's me all along"?
So
that would be cool. I'm not going to put him on my provisional podium. I think Froome's going to win. I think Landa's going to get second because he's going to collude with Froome because he's going to be working for Froome next year.
That could be.
And then Valverde's going to be third.
Perpetual third.
Posavillo's going to be fourth, real close, right off the podium.
So. All right.
Did you see Nibbles or one of those guys was like we're talking about doing it and was like, oh, but Posavillo, I think he's going to be strong. I was like, yeah, I like that.
God, I can't wait for the Vuelta for probably the first time in a long time. So do you guys have any out on the limb predictions?
Yeah. Tim, I like yours about La Syncratic. I think you're on the right track. I don't know that you're 100% correct with that one, but I do think you've got most of it correct. I think there'll be a standout American, and I think the top American won't be TJ, but I think I'm going to point to Joe Dombrowski.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dan Martin. I was just going to be like, you can't do the same joke twice in one show.
No. He's not as good a climber. Joe Dombrowski,
do you think
he impressed.
Dombrowski's got 3 weeks in him? I don't think
know.
He has 3 weeks.
I don't know.
He looks like if a stiff wind comes up, it's over.
But so does Froome.
Froome looks like solid. Like there was a picture after what Utah, Joe Dombrowski just won Utah. There was like a picture of him like posing with some kids, and you were like, oh, who's that kid in the middle that's wearing a Cannondale kit? Oh wait, it's Joe Dombrowski, and he's posing with some like 9-year-olds. Like I know it's good to be small and stuff and light to go up hills. I completely understand that. But, like, oh, my God, the dude is, like, he's the smallest man in the peloton. He makes Yanni Brockovich look fat.
Speaking of, well, not really Brockovich, but just of his ilk, who's going to place higher in the Vuelta final GC standings? Ready?
Okay.
Jaroslav Popovich, Frank Schleck, or Haimar Zubeldia?
Schleck, dude.
I don't know.
I might have to pander. I'm gonna have to pander to Tim here and say I think it'll be Zubeldia.
It's gonna be Zubeldia.
No, it's gonna be Frankie. Come on, he's got. I'll bet you $1 Frank will be the best of those guys.
All right. Hey guys,
I'm not taking that bet.
Hey, we got a quick question from Matt Watts. He says, "Hey guys, I decided not to call in during last week's episode, but I still have a burning question. What are your feelings about bells on bikes for the Greenway? Instead of saying on your left or nothing at all, you just go ring ring. Thanks and keep up the good work." And good was in quotations.
Oh, that's nice of him.
So bells, how do we feel?
I have a bell on one of my bikes. I like it.
So I can answer this actually with some experience as well. I commute in every day on the path, and I have a bell on my bike. And I got it specifically because I hate, with a burning passion, I hate saying, on your left, on your left, on your left. I feel like I feel like a tool bag, like being like, rah, out of my way.
There are signs on the Greenway now. There's like signs with like a little picture of a roadie, and it just says on your left. Like there's there's signs they put up. No,
dumb.
it's like real official signs, like because they want people to say it, because I bet people are just like running into each other.
I hate it.
Take a picture of that for us on your flip phone.
I'll get an engraving of it.
It drives me crazy. So I got the bell, so I knew that I would, my introverted self, I can just ring the bell and go by, and it'd be fine. And you know what I end up doing is just passing people without ringing the bell anyway, because
I do too.
No matter what you do, you alert people and you say on your left and they swerve left, and you ring a bell and they freak out. And
so I have a couple of questions for you on the bell.
Okay.
How far in advance do you ring the bell? Because I have a bell on my mountain bike because I like using it on the trail. So when you're coming up on riders, you can ring it, and then they prepare to get out of the way rather than yelling on your left. And I usually
depends on the bell, I think.
Yeah. Do you have a hamburger bell? Like what's your bell look like? Is it one of those is it a flipper? Like you pull down the card, or is it actually got like a
my bell's like a little brass bell.
Okay.
It's really loud. So I could like ring it like a half block away. No problem.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have like a teeny tiny minimalist bell.
Okay. So
We have the same bell.
do you guys, little guy, you remember when we went to Ottawa for the we were on our way to North American Cycle Career Championships, and and I did that alley cat, and the very first like busy intersection we got to, they just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, there's just shrieking whistles.
Yes.
And those guys rocked it with a whistle, and they got that intersection to stop.
They did.
And then I started bringing a whistle with me for alley cats, and it was like the awesome secret weapon. Like you get to Hennepin and Lindale intersection, you could just blow that thing, and people would be like, "All right, well, we'll let that guy go." It was pretty amazing.
It works, but man, it's got to make people hate you. I mean, like they already hate you because you're like, you're some dude like blowing through like 5 lights on your fixed gear, and then you almost run into some like child crossing the intersection, or like you hit an old man on the sidewalk, and they hate you. But then now you're also whistling at them.
Now you're that guy. Yeah, don't be that guy. That's one of the rules.
I'm with Spencer though. I like the bell, the concept, because I don't want to say on your left a lot because I have a hard time projecting my voice. And so if I say on your left, right as I say it, I'm like, I'm the only person that heard that.
I just
like it's really hard to yell it, and I feel like I have a hard time getting the proper volume. I either like say it and it sounds like I'm yelling at them, and then I feel like this big weird jerk, like on your left, and I'm that guy on the Greenway. So that guy's out there, and he's doing a sprint right now. He's trying to hit the Strava times, but if you say it too quietly, if you try to say it like too casually, then you end up just being like on your left, and you're like,
well, the worst part is when you announce on your left, and like you guys alluded to, someone walks back into your lane because like they look over their right shoulder and then they just start veering left. And I'm all about the bell. I think the bell is the correct way, and I'm happy that you guys are commuting on your local greenways with bells, and I hope other people do it.
I
think it's just a nice thing to do.
I end up using the bell a lot to yell at cars without yelling at them, more than I use it on the Greenway.
So
it's a good way to take you're mad, and you would just like flick them off or start yelling, and then you just ring your bell and just look at them.
I actually call it the douche bell. Like if you get a ring, like you did something douchey,
So
that's the opposite reason that I got a bell initially, which was because years ago I was out for a ride, and I was on like a side street in St. Paul, and this little kid was riding down the block too, and they rang their bell at me as they went by, and I was like, oh, I can't answer them. I can't say hello back with my bell. They were just like, hello, bing, 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 bing. So I got a bell.
That's a good idea.
I've never had a kid ring a bell at me since.
So this has been a pretty awesome episode. I really like it, guys, because we're getting lots of emails to the slowridepodcast@gmail.com, and then also people hitting us up on Twitter at the slowridepod. We got another email, a couple of long emails from Maggie Rose in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're not going to read them all because, there's just so much content here. But he wants to know about the Greenway. He was visiting St. Paul, so he went into a local bike shop, went into Flanders, said hi to everybody, and then he got on the Greenway. And he said, holy cow, what an awesome piece of cycling infrastructure. My question is, I approached a couple of hybrid bikes, and I noticed there was a speed limit printed in my lane at 12 miles an hour. I was doing 18 to 20 at the time, and best I could judge, the hybrids were doing about 14. Since they were over the limit, I didn't feel the need to slow down. Just gave them plenty of room. Is this a commuting Greenway faux pas? Should I abide by the speed limits on the Greenway? What do you think?
No, like you mean like the around the lakes and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. He said he was over near West Bank.
No, nobody follows those speed limits.
But why do they put speed limits on there? Like, that has to be the stupidest thing ever.
Well, because they're not for flying. I mean, they're not for roadies, right? I mean, that's not they're for people who like probably drove down near the river and they took their bike off their bike rack and they're going to go for a leisurely ride along the river, along the parkway, you know? So it makes sense that there's a speed limit there because it's really not commuting. It's the same reason that like the speed limit on the parkway is 25, and the same reason like all those cars that like get mad when they get behind you when you're biking on the parkway and you're going 20 and they're just like freaking out and you're like, you're on a parkway. You're not supposed to use this to like shortcut and get somewhere really quick. Like the speed limit is 25 and it's like the longest 25 mile an hour road in the city.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you're not.
I think the best summary of anything like this that I've heard actually came out of your mouth, little guy, when we were on a ride once. This is much the same thing happened. It wasn't on the parkway, though, where a guy behind us in the car was just laying on the horn, and we were moving along in a pretty good clip, probably 22 or something, and you yelled back at him and were like, it's the speed limit, not the speed requirement, asshole.
Yeah, exactly, right. I forgot I said that. Yeah, it's true, right? I mean, it's especially on the parkway. That's what drives me nuts. Yeah. It's like the speed limit is 25 and you're like going, like you could be, there's times we've been like a couple people like doing like a good clip on the parkway and people freak out and you're like, technically you can go 2 miles an hour faster. Like you cannot tell me that you needed to yell at me and honk at me for 2 miles an hour. Like, what is that going to get you?
Well, drivers are crazy, but specifically,
maybe you should just speed up.
Yeah, specifically about the Greenway.
Just go crazy. You got
bike speed limits.
Strava segment.
I think the cities, and this is probably true for all cities that set up the speed limits on paths and stuff. Like they aren't. I mean, they're trying to reduce like racers using it to race on or whatever fear they have of that. I don't know, but I think a lot of our council members and whatever people who make these rules like don't realize that not everybody's out for a leisurely ride, but can also not be racing. Like there's this regular pace that people can go if they're trying to get somewhere that's faster than 14 and slower than 25,
Yeah.
And
some of those paths are like 10 miles an hour, and like, I mean.
Well, yeah, but for your average unfit person who's on a hybrid or something, like going 14's pretty good. But if you got a road bike and you're on 25s and they're at 90 psi, like going 14's pretty minimal effort,
Well, I'd say just like on those paths, like your average person who's just commuting is going to probably be going like 11, 12, 13, like you're not going to probably be going 10. Like if you're commuting to work, even if you're like in no way crushing it and you're like riding an old cruiser, like you're just going to end up going 12.
Yeah. So,
you guys have
go fast, whatever.
Tim, you just moved to Orlando. Do you guys have a bike share program there?
We do. It's called Juice Bikes.
Juice Bikes.
It's actually
they could have called it Capri Sun.
Because no one would know how to use it.
Just because of the oranges?
I think so. And here's the thing. It's actually a little bit different than the Nice Ride program. So Nice Ride, how there's the kiosks? This one has like
Nice Ride's in Minnesota.
Yeah, Nice Ride's Minnesota, and it's very similar to what you have in D.C. It's what City Bike in New York.
Yeah,
very similar to all those
programs. We have the
programs.
Hubway in Boston.
This thing is it's about 15 stations now across Orlando, and it gets fairly regular use. Lots of downtown traffic. So why do you ask, Spencer?
Well, it's relating to the paths. I often see commuters here in Boston using the hubway system to get to work and stuff. And man, I don't know if it's possible to ride those bikes. And I was gonna see if you guys had the same experience. I don't know that it's possible to ride those bikes not at the absolute maximum speed that they can go, because that's what it seems like every commuter on those bikes is doing. And maybe it's because they're 50 pounds and their gear tops out at whatever it is, but everybody just seems to sprint on those things at all times.
This is Eric Saunders. You're listening to the Slow Ride Podcast.
And then we got a email here from our friend Derek Lewis of Rafa. And real quick, he says, I'm pretty sure that you dudes are knuckleheads.
That's what it was.
I'm challenging the both of you for a proper ride in New York City with a full, genuine wave to every road rider on course. And we're leaving at Fred High Tide, of course. See you dudes in Richmond, Virginia. Can't wait. But he has a question for us.
Uh-oh.
And he says this is on the highbrow of New York City cycling culture, waxing. He's like, the bikos are doing it. It's better than chamois cream, way more expensive. And they want to know, little guy, are you down to go see the hot wax lady?
No, I don't want to do that. It sounds terrible.
I'm not surprised by this answer whatsoever.
What about for charity?
I mean, are you somebody else paying for it? Is
No.
it that kind of charity, like for me?
Let's see who can raise more money for charity between you and TJ Van Garderen before Worlds RVA 2015, and the loser has to get shaved. Waxed.
I'll get waxed. Like if somebody
Yeah.
wants to pay for it, but like it sounds kind of terrible and it's expensive. And it's like
Maybe the
why?
loser of the arm wrestling match has to get waxed.
That'd be
The
good.
winner,
We
because
can
the
work
winner
this
have to
out.
pay for it. Because then I'll just like, oh, you got me, TJ.
Oh, I'm out $20. Oh.
Only if TJ had to wax me.
And I don't know if you guys saw, I did. We got recommended a awesome new Instagram feed called Hubbard Watch. Hubbard Watch came to us from Brandon Gavick, friend of the podcast, promoter of the Louisville 2013 foam party. Hubbard Watch. That's HUBBARD. Lots of bibs, overshirts, and backward helmets on this Instagram feed.
Interesting.
It is amazing. Already over 4,000 followers.
What is it? Hubbard Watch?
Yeah, like Hubbard Broadcasting. Hubbard.
Okay.
Hubbard Watched, all one word. It is. There's some good glory in here, guys. And
All right, I haven't heard about that yet. I'll check that out. That sounds good.
so anyway, do you guys have anything else that we need to cover?
I want to talk about the JPOW, the behind the
yeah.
barriers thing. Not
Brought a tear to
kind
my
of-
eye.
Brought a
Yeah,
tear to
kind
my
of.
eye, but also brought a big smile when I realized that he was a ice cream man for a
Well,
while.
you know, Tim,
I didn't know that. Ice cream, guys.
I've gotten ice cream from that truck.
Really?
Yep.
Ah,
Yep. So that was a part of the Jam Fund ride that JPOW helps put on every year. So that was pretty cool.
I'm disappointed. I'm very thankful for what he did for the cyclocross world, and I hope that he's able to take the energy that he invested in that program for
Yeah.
one really solid year of like all-out cross domination. Because I think that, can you imagine like how awesome it would be if JPOW just slayed it one year?
I mean,
Like I'm talking Johnny Page silver at Worlds level.
Yeah. I mean, he has been doing like a million things, and it has seemed
Exactly.
remarkable that he's still been able to crush it as much as he has, especially like domestically. and then
he
in
runs
Europe
off
still
positivity,
riding
man.
awesome.
Like
he seems to be
fueled
the
by it.
most just have like boundless energy. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, all the best to him. I hope he has great go in Europe this year. That'd be fun to watch.
So yeah, and
I got one more thing, guys.
okay.
What's that?
This is slightly cyclocross related. Somebody stole Papa John's Camaro.
Again?
I guess. I don't know. I just saw it on Jalopnik like earlier today.
Oh no!
Oh man.
I just thought I just remember.
So are we supposed to like
Louisville?
Are we supposed to like that guy or not? Because like he did help
sponsor
bring like cyclocross to like Louisville for a couple years.
You gotta like the
But
papa.
he's also part of the just the horror that is cheese stuffed in crust. I mean, and like that dipping sauce, that garlic dipping sauce, that's probably killed more people than tobacco.
No. See, the
that
garlic
shit,
dipping sauce,
that stuff will kill you.
It may. But here's the thing, little guy. It was innovative.
May? No, they painted it on mice and it killed him. It gave him
little
cancer.
guy. It was innovative. That dipping sauce set Papa John's apart from Domino's and Pizza Hut.
Pizza. Mm-hmm. It set him apart from pizza. It was like, oh, this isn't pizza anymore.
Hey, we also got a tweet at the Slow Ride Pod from Dan from NAM. We were asking him about his agent, make sure that he was going to get on the set with us as the host of Cyclepalooza, be the VIP. Mm-hmm. You know, I was a little nervous because Dan from NAM, his style is definitely going to be one of those like, oh, I was going to go before it was cool kind of thing, with the beard and all that. But he said, hey, you know, I might be there. Just call my agent. I said, do you have an agent? And he said, what's an agent? And so Dan,
setup.
It's just, yeah, I know what you're doing, Dan. Playing hard to get, but we're here. We got a 6-person podium bike tweeted at us. We retweeted that one. Lots of cool stuff coming across the Twitter feed. And with that, I'm pretty much done. If you've got anything else you want to talk about, we can do that.
I think we've covered all the bases here. Everybody should check out our what?
Oh, what?
Did you guys see Mo Bruno Roy's tweet to us?
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
Oh, man, Mo Bruno Roy. So many people at the Ladies That Shred Clinic this weekend told me they listened to me on the Slow Ride Pod.
Yeah,
cool.
And
hashtag 16th place. Hashtag cycling. Thank you, Mo.
That was awesome. And you know what? That clinic was in Columbus, Ohio, which I didn't know we had reach down that far. So that's pretty good.
Ooh, I slept on the roof of a dentist office in Columbus, Ohio.
That's pretty good.
Little known fact. Only time I've been in Columbus.
Yeah, the only time I've been in Columbus, I went to the Insomnia Cafe, which was on High Street, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore, but it was like one of those coffee shops that was cool before coffee shops were cool.
Hey,
is it an internet cafe?
Kind of, yeah.
You know, Columbus, Ohio was the host of the, what was it, the Midwest Jumpin' or
Championships, yeah.
That was cool because they couldn't say championships in the title. So
yeah.
That was awesome.
Do you think everything in Columbus is on High Street? Because I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
No, dude, it's still there.
Is it?
No, it's not. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I googled it, and then when I scrolled down, it said Los Angeles. It's on 7286 Beverly Boulevard in L.A.
Yeah, LA listeners
mind.
can tell us if it's anything like the one in Columbus. Used to be 10 years ago.
Wait, I'm doing another search.
This is great. This makes for great radio.
All right.
No, it's gone.
Well,
it's gone.
We'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Slow Ride podcast. And more importantly, we'd like to thank BK1 for that awesome theme off of Rhyme Series Entertainment and his album
Radio de Cannibal?
Yeah. So sorry, I had a brain fart there. Radio de Cannibal. Good stuff. And then also I'd like to thank everyone for tweeting at the Slow Ride Pod, emailing us at theslowridepodcast@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Subscribe on iTunes, like it, give us a review. We had another great review coming in from someone saying, hey, love the Greenways stories. Keep it up. So again, thank you. And
awesome.
we do have one rule. That rule is don't be that guy. The second rule is always, always, always wave to your fellow spandex clown wearing nerds when you see them out there because they're like us. Unless they have a backwards helmet, and then you just wave, but you don't tell them their helmet's backwards because it's for enjoyment of everybody.
Right, that's true. And I guess if you're in New York City, you can just give a slight nod. You know, you don't have to wave at everybody. But you have to acknowledge. That's what's important.
Okay. All right.
Finger wave.
Finger wave's okay too. Yeah. All right, you guys.
All right.
The Slow Ride Podcast. Bikes, advice, and rumors straight from the source. TheSlowRidePodcast.com and on Twitter at TheSlowRidePod.
George Hincapie. 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 Hincapie.